Hey, this is a feeding video about my ball python, Jormungandr. There.
Now's our time! Assemble the troops! As soon as Duke Carmine begins his revolt, we will commence our invasion of the Elfrieden Kingdom. Our target is the Grain Belt in the southwest. 50 years ago, our land was stolen from our forefathers. It's time we reclaimed it.
A moment, please, if I may.
What is it, Colbert?
The Declaration of Mankind's Common Front Against the Demon Race, or Mankind Declaration for short, is the decree from the Empire which has the largest territory and military. It's an international treaty that states owing to the expansion of the Demon Lord's domain, all conflicts between mankind must come to an immediate halt. In order to keep the demons from encroaching any farther south, mankind must work together as a unified force to push the enemy back. Its main points consist of the following 3 articles. Of the 3, the first article states that should there be any changes within mankind's borders as a result of conflict, they will not be recognized.
If we invade Elfrieden, we will be courting intervention from the Empire and our allies, Your Majesty. I'm begging you to reconsider!
You're worrying over trivial matters, Colbert. Unlike our great nation, Elfrieden chose not to sign the Mankind Declaration.
Julius. Sire, that's just sophistry!
You should know when it comes to diplomacy, only signed treaties carry any weight.
But
King to whom King Albert, the previous ruler of Elfrieden, yielded the throne.
Duke Castavagus, General over the Air Force.
At last I may greet our new king. It's a pleasure. I am Excel Walter, Your Majesty.
As you know, I'm Duke York Carmine. Princess Lucia, do you know the reason why?
I am sorry. My father insists I stay out of such things to avoid suspicion. But if he were here, he would tell you Soma is your king now.
Is that so? Here is my answer. I cannot accept you as our king after all.
But, Duke Vargas!
I will instead side with Duke Carmine.
I see. And is that your final decision?
Yes, but it's one I reached on my own. Duke Carmine will have my support, as well as 100 members from the Red Dragon City Knights. The rest of the Air Force will not be mustered and will continue to remain neutral.
Very well. Is Duke Vargas' decision in consideration of his possible defeat? How can this be? Now then, General of the Army Jord Carmine, I don't need to ask whether or not you'll side with me. The moment you gave shelter to nobles who were guilty of corruption, it was evident that you had no intention of following me. So I would ask you one thing. What is it that drove you to take this stance?
It's my pride as a warrior. After living for more than 55 years, my strength may have declined, but I've gained an extraordinary opportunity. Through my experience, I'll determine Elfrieden's fate.
But that's...
you're being a complete fool!
Naturally, one cannot be a warrior without being a fool. And you'll bear witness to the way that I live my life.
Are you sure you don't mean the way you'll die?
They are the same thing. Those who aim to live die. Those who desire death live on.
There we go.
Warrior.
You're just an old rotten trunk I need to step over.
Though I may be wrong.
Oh! 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 People that haven't are watching this video, skip forward to 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
Or for it to involve innocent citizens of this kingdom, am I correct?
Woohoo!
Establish a rule where if one of us kills or captures the other, the forces under their command will immediately switch allegiances.
How amazing that is!
Somehow I am defeated.
Woo! People, tell me if I should be feeding them something bigger, like a small rat, or this is a small, medium mouse. So, this is my first ball python. I'm still a rookie, I will admit that. But the terrarium, I'll turn this light off. It was supposed to be off, but I'll turn it on anyway. It's around 10. 55-gallon tank. So he's going to be in here for quite a long time until I get a second one. And when that happens, this guy will get a new upgrade. It will be a 7x2x3 setup. I love fucking snakes.
I'm sorry. I wasn't able to change Castor's mind.
There was nothing
Alright.
he could do. He made his choice.
That's it. I just wanted people to see the blow up.
Is she there with you right now?
Woo! I'm stoked about that.
You called for me, Your Majesty?
I wanted to thank you for everything, Juna. Because of your connection with Duchess Walter, we were able to resolve our differences without going to war.
I only did as ordered and don't deserve your praise. Sending Juna to spy on you was deceitful, but I needed to show caution and care. For that you have my apologies.
It's all right. If you hadn't, I doubt I'd have you on my side now.
But
Selma,
I'm not
don't
gonna
forget,
lie, it's
we
gotten
have your back too.
bigger.
Our victory is imminent! On this day,
Year and
history
a
is written
half.
and we will achieve our greatest triumph!
The Principality of Amadonia is invaded. 30,000 of their troops are moving through the Ursula Mountain Pass. From what I see, based on their movements, Gaius intends to occupy the southwestern city of Altamura.
This land has fine hardy grain. Not even the Forbidden Army's troops could eat it all, eh, Weist?
Right, without question, and soon it will be yours. Altamura has no intention of defying you.
What an idiot. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you guys keep watching that shit and listening to this YouTube video. I'll let you guess whatever anime this is, but listen hard while you're watching this beautiful snake eating this pitiful mouse.
They're breaking through! How am I supposed to stop them?
Oh, we are in trouble if you're asking me what we should do. You're positive there's nothing you can do with your magic?
Stop yelling at me! I practically used all of it up there.
Easier than shooting a falcon. Hardly a challenge.
And who are you now?
Forgive me, I didn't introduce myself. I've come here from the God-protected forest. You may call me Sir. I remember you from the landslide. Thanks to you, my daughter. I never got to say thank you, which I regretted. But then my daughter said she wanted to be like you. That's not the worst part, though. She went on to tell me how she wants to join the Forbidden Army and the Great Halbert. You can imagine my annoyance at hearing that.
Open the gates! Our targets are the 3 cannons! As for the enemy soldiers, pay no mind to them! Do not get in too deep! Your only focus should be destroying the artillery! Come on! Let's show these traitors the Royal Guard is more than just a bunch of pretty faces! Towards the cannons!
Are you seeing this?
They other two burning now.
Just a big time too.
I wasn't worried. All three of the cannons were destroyed.
What a sad day! Seeing the great Yorg's army turn to a pack of spineless cowards!
That's rich coming from a corrupt aristocrat whose only talent is in amassing wealth.
I trust you haven't lost your nerve, or have you?
You think there's anyone capable of intimidating me? I'm doubting you understand the situation. The enemy army are 10,000, while we are 40,000 strong. Why would we ever need to force our attack?
They're outnumbered. But if that's the case, should we not wipe out their forces in one fell swoop?
You attempted the same strategy and were routed, if you remember. You even took cannons with you, of which we are now down 3.
And we are truly sorry about that.
And there's no sign Soma is even in that fort.
Duke Carmine, how can you be sure?
Since the fort was erected, their army has been on the defensive. If he were in our position, he would have made some sort of move by now. No, he is definitely on the move. The question is where, and we must lure him out.
Do you mean to tell us you're planning on using the soldiers inside the fort as bait?
You men must be spent from the battle. This fight will not be over in only a day or 2. I suggest taking tomorrow to rest and regain your strength.
Splendid plan.
Beowulf. Is all prepared as I've asked?
Affirmative. Everything's ready.
Figures. What would you expect from a rat?
Prepare to attack at once! We will lay siege to the...
What am I hearing?
Forgive me, but the Lord of Altamora, Weiskaro, requests an urgent audience with you.
Let him through!
Yes, sir. I am terribly sorry, my lord.
Explain yourself! You promised me that you'd have the stronghold's gates open by
The
now.
holdouts have become more stubborn, and it's taking longer than expected persuading them to surrender.
What? You lied to me. I didn't want to hear any excuses. I'll lop off your head and make you an example to everyone behind those walls.
Before you do, I wish to inform you that the shouting you just heard coming from Altamura were the war cries of the do-or-die resistance faction I mentioned earlier.
Father, in a battle against soldiers who are prepared to fight to the death, our losses would be far too great.
I could not have put it better myself. Yes, I failed you, but perhaps I can make up for it. Please accept this, my lord. Gold dust. I wish I had more. Also, if I may ask your highness's generosity.
I accept your offering, reluctantly. But what do you mean by my generosity?
Tomorrow at midday, see that tree? When its shadow reaches here, they will surrender. Until then, I beg you to refrain from attacking the city. I promise that this time I will be able to convince the holdouts that surrendering is the only choice.
Father, why don't we take Weist at his word and show some magnanimity this one time?
Very well. We will refrain from attacking until noon tomorrow. But if the gates are not opened by then, we will take the city by force.
Thank you. Thank you. Leave it to me. I can convince them to open the gate for you, sir. Are you sure this is the wisest course, Excel? I mean, Duchess Excel. With that much gold at our disposal, we could have hired a whole division of mercenaries from Zem.
Until someone offered them more money. What good is loyalty that can be bought? At the moment, I'm engaging 3 different foes. Time is my only ally. If I can buy a little extra with gold, it will not be missed. But hopefully that much is obvious. Otherwise, you're nothing but a child.
I must say, this new king is quite daunting, sending you to act as his personal messenger.
Out of the blue, he says, go to Altamura. He really is a slave driver.
I'll wager that Duke Vargas and Duke Carmine had no idea that you were attending the conference from here. Masterfully done.
Not just them, Gaius as well. It takes 3 days to get here from Lagoon City. 3 non-stop days. Soma doesn't mind driving the elderly ragged.
Funny how you play the elderly card only when it suits you.
I get a free pass. But I forbid anyone else from ever mentioning it to me.
By the way, Duchess Excel, I was only able to buy us till noon tomorrow. Will that be enough time?
I'm sure it will be, for if His Majesty doesn't make his move by then, it won't matter. We'll have to die like heroes inside this stronghold.
Hey, Kite. What's wrong with you?
Nothing. I'm acting this way because I'm happy.
You're kidding. And why is that?
I suppose because I have you here beside me, Hal. It all comes down to today and tomorrow. If we can get through this.
What do you mean, if?
I'm hoping things work out, here and with everything we face down the road.
Hey, don't start doubting now after all we've gone through. We made it this far, might as well see it through to the end.
Good point. You'll be sure to protect me, right?
Finally, a breather. The enemy's dropping their attack.
I don't see any mercenaries from Sundown.
I told you to keep your head down!
If they're changing troop formations, there is a possibility the enemy's digging in for a more drawn-out battle.
That would make life a little easier for us.
Alright. I'm back. The snake has probably devoured it. Well, and it has. I'll let you guys go. Thanks for watching the video. Sorry about it being too long. I was doing some stuff, feeding animals, so yeah. Let you guys go. Peace.